It's time for the Chips and Salsa Show.
The only show about Latinos for Latinos. And did we mention Latinos?
It's the Latísima.
Latinos come in all flavors, shapes, and sizes. You don't have to be Latino to enjoy chips and salsa.
Welcome to the Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico. Arizona is maybe tomorrow, but today is Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico. My name is Lara, and I am here with
Zeke Rodriquez.
The Zeke-nator, I like to call him.
Yes.
We're broadcasting live, and actually this is a recorded show, but we are here in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and we have a guest that we're going to get to in just a couple minutes. It is Mike Tellez, and Mr. Tellez is running for mayor here in Las Cruces. So we'll do a few little housekeeping items first, and of course what we want to do is give great kudos to our wonderful executive producer, Eric Williamson, who makes this all happen.
Shout out.
Eric, we appreciate
The
you.
man.
So we should announce, Zeke, that what we're going to start officially today is on Mondays, we'll be recording a show to bring you up-to-date politics, national, mostly New Mexico, state stuff, and local. So we're hoping that you'll be tuning in. We'll provide you information where you can get it. We're going to be available on the YouTube channel for Chips and Salsa Show, also our Rumble,
Right.
Chips and Salsa Show Arizona, and our Rumble Chips and Salsa Show New Mexico. Facebook will probably just be like sharing the link because we won't be broadcasting through Facebook like we were before. But no problems because it's just going to be a better and greater show.
Yeah, Facebook's a bunch of haters.
Yes. We don't need that.
Well, you know what? I do share the link on Facebook, and shout out to everyone who still supports Chips and Salsa and supports us. I still get a lot of positive feedback on all the Facebook groups and my Facebook page itself for Chips and Salsa. Even though the algorithm blocks our views and stuff, I still get a lot of beautiful support. So thank you guys on Facebook for all your love and support. And thank you, Mr. Tellez, for coming on board. Alice.
Hey, you bet, man.
Great. And we're going to come to you in just one moment, but I do want to mention, I'm glad you said that because we have a group site, Friends of the Chips and Salsa Show. And a lot of times what we do there is we share different news items and topics and things. And that has, I think we have about 600 people.
That's a lot of people.
It's an intimate site. But please, if you'd like to join, I'm trying to remember, George is the one that accepts them or not. If not, I'll go in there too. By the way, Don Jorge is not with us today. He's probably working, but he's probably going to be recording a show tomorrow. I don't want to say that for sure because Eric wasn't able to tell us very definitely. So anything else before we get to Mike? Anything you want to mention?
No, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful time to be alive.
Oh, it really is. So without further ado, I'm still new here to New Mexico. My hometown is Las Cruces. My husband and I moved back about a year and a half ago. Yeah. And but it's my hometown. So Zeke is the connected person and knows all the politics and everything. So what I'm going to do is toss it to Zeke so he can do a better introduction with Mr. Mike Tellez.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Alice, for that beautiful introduction. Always an honor to be here with Chips and Salsa Arizona. Arizona still supports us a lot, so I'll always give you guys plenty of appreciation, adulation, and thanks. Thank you, New Mexico. Thank you, Las Cruces. So, Mr. Mike Tellez, I just got a chance. I'm going to go be real brief, and then I'll let you take the floor, Mr. Tellez, because I think only you can speak for yourself in these situations. I've just met him recently, but I do know we had lunch a couple months ago, and, he impressed me with his heart, his passion. He's someone, and he's the only freaking Republican mayor candidate in the whole city. We got candidates coming out the wazoo. He's the only one that has the balls to come out and say, you know what? I'm an America first. I'm a Republican. He's a Christian man. He's a good man. He's been in the politics game for a long time. Okay, this guy's got a lot of experience, and he's got my support. Just based on, I know I'm supposed to be biased because of the show, but for me,
no, that's fine.
On the fact that he's the only Republican candidate, to me, I love that. So I'm honored to have him here on the show, Mr. Tellez. Thank you. Please let the audience know who you are, what you're all about, so we can get your platform out there, sir.
Hey, thank you very much, man. That was a great introduction. I may have you introduce me more often.
Hey, whenever, man. I got you.
Hey, you got it, man. I appreciate that. And it's an honor to be on your all's program here. I love the name, and I like what you're doing. It needs to happen, and we need to stand up for who we are.
That's
We're
right.
Conservatives.
That's right.
Pretty war-torn state right now.
Right.
I'm constantly seeing this on national news. I even saw us on the Australian channel on the gun deal in Albuquerque.
The gun deal.
So there's a lot we have to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's par for the course for someone like you. I mean, I guess you want to jump into some questions real quick? I mean,
could I maybe ask real quick though, Mike? Go ahead for the benefit of our audience. Give your little 1 minute bio of, how long you've lived in Cruces, why you're running, why you think you're just like the best dude to be in that office.
Well, I've been here 26 years. My family is originally from the South Valley, and we date back to the 1700s. I moved back up here, and I bought the IHOP restaurant. So I owned IHOP restaurant for 17 years. And I finally, after all my life in the restaurant business, I said, now I'm going to do what I want to do. So I sold everything and got the Dream Center to start reaching out to kids and helping people. And that's what we've been doing now. Well, we've been here 18 years now at the Dream Center,
and the Dream Center
several programs.
It's a church-based community outreach program, right?
Yeah, it's a community-based center.
Okay.
And it's faith-based. It's Jesus Christ all the way. I'll
there you go.
Never deny that.
Amen. Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. Please go ahead.
That's okay. And we have a successful boxing program. We have about 60 kids in there. We have 2 of the only national champions that won in St. Louis this year out of New Mexico. So we have the only 2 people. Our kids are champions. They've gone up to the state tournaments. They've swept it. They're doing great. We have one girl that we're really proud of. It's Ariana Carrasco. She started at 12 years old here. She was 7-time national champion. She ended up getting a scholarship to the Air Force Academy boxing team. And so she's boxing for USA Boxing right now. And she just won nationals this last weekend. She'll be going to the Olympic trials. And I have no doubt she'll go to the Olympics and she will win. So that's somebody we're proud of. She's from New Mexico, and she's one of our own.
That's fantastic.
And we're looking forward to some of these other kids. We have a 9-year-old that has the longest winning streak in the country right now, so we're proud of him.
Fantastic. That's great. And it seems like champion boxers come out of the most war-torn, most impoverished, rough neighborhood. They have that spirit that they hold. And that's why I love fighting and boxing, because it's always indicative of the kind of background that these people came from. They're true fighters, pulled themselves out of whatever horrible situation that they were in, and they end up being amazing people and amazing inspirations. So that's an amazing platform that you have there for the kids and the youth, man. And I bet just being faith-based, and I know for a fact that you have your finger on the pulse with what's going on with the community.
Yes, we have 4 programs here, ministries here. One reaches out to the street people. One reaches out to the homeless that need help. We offer free rehab. There's a home they take them into and try to get them off drugs and get them going the right path. And it's also faith-based. It's Victory Ministries, and they do great. Then we have another one that works with teenagers and just trying to get them going on the right path. And he is doing really well with kids, teenagers. And we're getting ready to open up a mechanic program, teach kids how to take care of their car.
Wonderful.
Man, you are really trying to do things for the future of this city.
You bet. That's where my heart is, with the young people.
That's really great. I just want to say a quick thing, because a lot of people that watch us may not necessarily live in Las Cruces or even the New Mexico area. But it's important to talk to candidates like you, because around the entire country, there are so many cities, and the city councils and the mayors are so left. And ours, of course, is among those, unfortunately, right now. And so I think it's important that you know about other candidates. And that way, if you want to support other candidates and you think they're good, you can send them a few bucks. Or maybe you know somebody who lives in that state or city. And we can all benefit by doing that with this, Zoom.
Absolutely. Every city council should focus on the problems that these kids are going through. They're growing up. They're 28% of our present and 100% of our future. The drug problem, the best we're going to do is control it. But in order to stop it eventually, we start with these younger people and send them the right direction.
Amen to that. I totally agree with that. And then so let's get into some tough questions, and nothing crazy. This is just as a citizen of Las Cruces, and for those in Arizona, you guys have heard me talk about it. as soon as Biden got in office, as soon as that border opened, it seemed like the crime went through the roof. Well, it didn't seem like it did. So, Mr. Tellez, when Biden got in office and all of his leftist policies kind of went to the next level, same thing with our governor. Did you notice an increase in a ramp up in crime and drug usage and homelessness with the people that you typically deal with in your area?
Well, you know that right now crime is way up in Las Cruces. We're ranked one of the highest residential burglary in the nation right now. Our city
really?
is. We were just ranked. We got another number one just 2 days ago. So we are the poorest city in the country. Officially, just saw that news break. So now we're the poorest. We got the sorriest school systems. But you know what? I tip my hat to the teachers. They are working it. I've worked with Lynn Middle School as an intern. They're working hard. But you know what? With everything going on and their hands tied, what can they do? But yes, crime is definitely up. That's where where do they think the drugs are coming from? And they're cheap here. They're coming right there across that open border that's as porous as can be.
Right.
It is a tough situation. And of course, recently, everybody knows because it made national news. I like to call it Zeke's girlfriend, our governor. No. Our governor decided that she wanted to try to ban our weapons. Now she's backtracking because she couldn't really get a lot of support for that.
Boy, did she get attacked.
Yeah, let's pretend, Mr. Tellez, that you are Mayor Tellez, okay? Because she said, oh, this is just for Albuquerque. But, you know, how would you respond to that? What would you do?
I would respond the way the sheriff in Bernalillo County responded. He said the right thing. He did and the attorney general and the majority of this state did not like that when they heard it. Just what did we hear? We heard a new agenda coming up. First, they locked us down with COVID under what I believe was pretty much fictitious facts. Now they want to throw this firearm deal. What are they trying to do? They lock the parents up and now they take the guns away. I love what the sheriff said. He said, do you think criminals are going to leave their guns home and not carry them? And she said, no. And the sheriff and everyone was perplexed. And what are you doing? We're headed in the wrong direction right now. And I believe that once a city gets in there and the right council gets in there, that's the only way you're going to change directions, because we got to represent and help the people who represent us in Santa Fe. The city's so step, we get in there, do our job, then back up our candidates and go to Santa Fe and protect us from things like that to come up. Because, city councilmen can't do anything. But if we do our job and show this community that conservative people are looking out for them, they'll get behind our candidates that run for state representatives, state senate, and start backing them and sending them up there. But we need to turn that house around just as bad as we need to turn the city around.
Yeah, and that's why I really respect what you're doing. For the main thing is that you're in the position to see what's really going on in our city. Like, you see the worst parts of our city. You're dealing with these people who people don't want to deal with. That's what you're doing, the things that nobody wants to do. So you're in a position to actually speak to the problems that are in our city. You actually care. You're someone who's actually passionate. And then, of course, you're Republican. So it's like, look, yeah, he's Republican, and everybody's been conditioned to hate Republicans or whatever. But you're a Latino, you're Hispanic, a strong Hispanic man.
Yeah, and I'm not rich.
But it's not about.
I don't have all this money and power. I just work with the young people.
Yeah, you care. And I think that's important, because even if you're a Democrat or you're an independent, you can look at someone like Mr. Tellez and say, you know what? This man is in it for the right reasons. This man has the experience to lead the city in a better direction than it's in now, which is obvious, because if you're not on your side, where you're actually trying to help the youth and help the homeless, then what side are you on? You're trying to destroy things on purpose, is what it seems like to me.
Exactly.
Mr. Tellez, so did you get a chance this afternoon to watch the city council meeting?
No, I didn't. Not yet.
Well, I was telling Zeke a little bit about it before the show started, but I have not had the pleasure of being there in person, but I try to catch it because I'm at home, so I'll listen to it and everything. One of the councilwomen, she's pro tem now, Gandara, is running for mayor.
Right.
Yes.
And one of our coalition of conservatives in action, Lori, got up there, and she had a pretty good line. she got up there and basically, and I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget it. She said she found it laughable. I'm paraphrasing what she said. That she, one or two of you is running for mayor, and frankly, she was like, I find that laughable. And I want to tell you one more thing that happened too. And you go back and rewatch it, so that way you can get the full effect and everything. But at one point, there's a lady that got up there, a businesswoman locally who'd been vandalized over and over. It was getting very frustrated with how things were happening in her business and looking kind of to investigate things. And so the small audience that was there gave her just a big round of applause and yeah, you know. And Councilwoman Pro Tem Mayor Gandara, what she said is, now I want to ask everybody to calm down. I mean, the way she was talking, you think people were breaking out into some big fights or something like that. So I tell you all this because as I watch it, there's a certain tone that's there, and they're all women. I hate to say it, but they're all women. They're all left, but there's a certain tone there of disrespect and smugness. It's really hard. So you get in there, you're probably still going to have, unfortunately, most will be on the left. How are you going to handle that? What are you thinking about?
Well, my degree is in communication, and that's what my master's is in. I'm a book away from my master's degree, but we need to change the culture of the way our city operates. I'm a servant leader. That's what our elected officials are supposed to be, servant leaders. When you go in there, it feels like a dictatorship. They talk down to you. They talk rude to you. They're ugly to people there. And you know what? That is not who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be serving the people, not talking down to them. And I believe that the people in there are being led by the people that were there before they got there. So what they're doing is they're just following the lead. And I believe that some of these people, once they see what we really need to do and once they understand it, I believe that we'll have no problem getting them to follow a plan to get our city back. Right now, our city's a mess. We're a welcoming city. This is hard, but I believe we need to suspend the welcoming city status and take care of our city first.
Yes.
That is what we need to do. 70% of our homeless population are from out of town. We love people. We love helping them. But my goodness, let us take care of our own house first. And we need to do that. We have the National Guard Armory on Brown Road, which is a perfect model for our homeless problem. I'm hearing 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 immigrants a month. They got a beautiful setup inside. They house them. They got beds. They got rec rooms. They got outdoors. That's where our homeless people should be taken to. La Clinica de Familia once told me that they would love to go in and set up the medical side and the counseling side of it. We need to get these people. We need to either treat them or see where they need to bless them with a ticket home. But we need to get these people who are just sleeping everywhere and hanging out. Right now, I saw a lady with a dog right in the medium, right there in Three Crosses in Maine. How dangerous. It's terrible. And we don't need to do that. Go to Mesilla and tell me if you see that going on there.
Yeah,
but these people, I think they will follow it. Now, let me tell you, the biggest gift is Bill Matisse running for city council.
Right.
You couldn't ask for a better person in city council than Bill Matisse, because he was the mayor last time Las Cruces was really solid and running good.
Right. Right. We had the safest city in the country for a long time. I believe it was under his watch. I remember our police chiefs were traveling the country training other police on the use of force model because we were so good at not killing people randomly. And it's just crazy that you tell us that we're now the poorest city in the country.
The poorest, yeah. Just saw that news break yesterday.
And that's what really blows my mind about the city council and the people who are in charge of our legislature is they're so proud and so happy to be last and worst place.
Yeah, they think they're doing a good job.
I don't get the delusion of that because things are just
I don't either.
What
are they looking at?
I don't know. I guess they like going to Albertsons at 9 o'clock at night and getting accosted by 4 or 5 homeless people who are really hopped up on drugs and screaming at each other. That's what happened to me.
Looking in their car windows and all that.
That's what happened to me there, and it's just sad, man. Like, I'm a pro-human. I don't want to see these people, and they're living in hell right now. Why would you want to
Yeah.
see your fellow brother live like that? You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Let's get them into an area. Last time I ran 4 years ago, I said, we have got a problem with mental health and substance abuse. The chief of police told me at that time that is 98% of the crime in our city.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get a facility that will treat substance abuse and mental health. We don't have any place to send them, no place. I get calls on a regular basis on where can I go to get help. There is no place to send these people to get help, no place.
Well, here's an idea, Mr. Tellez, because this is something I kind of investigated when I was running for legislature and stuff, is that in South Dakota and in Montana, what they do is they let if you have a license to practice medicine anywhere in the country, you can go practice in that state. It's called reciprocity, right? So we as New Mexico, if you got a license to practice psychiatry in Oklahoma, you can come here and open up a clinic. And that would be great for them because they'd be first to market. The demand is so high that anybody who decides to jump ship and come to New Mexico, they're going to have clients. They're going to be able to get paid.
Absolutely.
So I hope that's something that,
that would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, we can work together on.
The state, that would have to be sanctioned.
We've got a major doctor shortage in this state.
Correct.
That's why what we need to do is we need to get in there, get something happening here, back people such as yourself to get into Santa Fe and do what we need to do.
Mr. Tellez, so I still work actually for, my boss is a lobbyist in Arizona. Okay. I don't lobby, really. I do more the admin part of it. But as I understand it, the city, I believe, has a lobbyist. And I don't know how much you are aware of that, but it would seem to me that they would be really working hard and have so many issues that they're trying to lobby New Mexico State Legislature to work their way. Now, right now, it's probably not what you or I or Zeke would want to do, but do you know anything about that? Or how they're
Well, no, I don't know anything about that right now. What I do know is that our governor is following the California model.
Yeah.
She's following one of the worst disasters we have in the country, the California model. And I believe it's their belief that Gavin Newsom is going to end up running and he'll be the president. And that gets them into the big dance. So right now what they're doing is, if you notice, what California does is what they're doing. And when they first got in, they called themselves the Squad. Now you see the mess the Squad has caused in their states. Well, that's what we have right now in our state and our city. Our entire state we're in trouble except for southeast New Mexico, of course, which is red, and Hobbs, Roswell, Artesia. And then they came with that redistricting and messed that up. But they want the entire state to go along with this horrible plan.
Right. And it's just so commonsensical for guys like us, for people like us to see. Like, look at San Francisco. The district decided not to prosecute, so the crime is rampant. The businesses got shuttered. Now there's more homelessness, and the businesses are gone. It's just a complete. I mean, people say to go to San Francisco if you want to start seeing hell on earth. It's like a tourist attraction for seeing hell on earth. It's not something you want to go and have
fun.
The
big, beautiful stores in San Francisco that made it great are leaving. Even Walgreens is shutting down. They can't handle it anymore.
That's so crazy.
And the minimum wage are raising it to $22 per hour is what they want to raise it to.
$22
in California. Here they want to bring it up to 15. And I studied that. And the large companies such as Walmart, they love that high minimum wage because that'll drive out what made America great, the small businessman. They want to drive them out so that they dominate. And what do we have if we have no more small business? Mom and Pa's gone.
And Walmart just subsidizes their employees with government kickbacks anyway. So
absolutely.
So it's not like, the small business can't just necessarily do that because Walmart has
spend
programs.
Their money on replacing our front windows. In our neighborhood, we always have plywood doors and plywood windows. That's the new norm in our area.
Never used to be like that, man.
No, it didn't. Our neighborhood, you see on there a picture of a gun that says we're armed.
Wow.
Lucky Dog Billiards. I cruise by there all the time. It's right in the middle of it's Amador. Everybody's got a cruise through, and it's got plywood on every single window. And I talked to Sarah, the owner of the pool. It's a pool hall downtown. For those who don't know, it's our only
Yes.
pool that we have downtown. And she says she just stopped buying glass because if she keeps buying glass, her insurance premiums are going to keep going up. It's just
Exactly.
too time consuming. So she's essentially just going to break up her windows eventually. No windows in a pool hall. How crazy is that?
Yeah. And you know that as a businessman, your insurance, your policy will jump as soon as you start making claims like that.
Oh yeah.
And
They
then the
punch-
high risk, they'll put you in a high risk category.
Yep.
Who can
Yep.
afford that?
Nobody.
Mike, along those lines, and is it okay if I call you Mike?
Yes, please.
Great. Along those lines, because a lot of what we hear from the city council is, well, it's not our fault because many of the complaints that come through are they don't arrest these people or they don't stay in jail. So they're just back out again. And they say, oh, everybody blames everybody else. So what would you intend to bring the focus to where it should be and communicate to the citizens of Las Cruces of what's really happening?
Well, the first thing we need to do is we'd bring all our representatives in and ask them what they're doing about this catch and release and get them in front of the city. Let them tell the community, well, it's really not them because they keep claiming they're innocent. They've done nothing but good. Well, then you know what? Call them in. And you know what they'll do is they'll point the finger right back at the council. But what we need to do is our community needs to wake up and vote. We need to start going to those polls and vote for people that represent what they can't stand about our city. The people I've talked to, oh my goodness, Democrat, Republican, Independent, they can't stand the way things are going right now. And the hate towards Republicans, and you know what? I don't hate Democrats. When I owned a business, I loved all these customers, no matter what party they were. Here, I don't ask them what party are you before we allow them into the Dream Center, free of charge. We take care of all the young people. We are the people. What we need to do is we need to break that ugliness that's out there that the media has gotten people to believe we're the enemy. And we need to start getting along and go vote and get the right people in office. But we need to, one of the plans we have, one of the things we're looking at is to take the city council meeting to all the districts, to every week be in another district, whether it's Oñate's auditorium, no matter where it is, put the student government next to us and
That's
start
a good idea.
going.
That's a great
We
idea.
invite everyone from that district to come in, and we have that student government right next to us, right there, helping us listen and work on these problems right here. And then go to Centennial, then go to NMSU, go to the community college.
I love that.
But
Really good
have
idea.
them at 6 o'clock at night in every single different district of the city and start isolating it to districts rather than 1:30 when nobody except retired people are able to go to it.
Yeah, they did that on purpose, for
Yes.
sure.
We
Let's
need
see
to
what
go see what the people have to say, not the same ones week after week. There's not very many there.
So here's my issue with that. I mean, I think it's a beautiful plan. It's something against you or your plan, but just overall, societally, when you say that we're now the poorest city in the country, we're the worst state in the country, we're the most uneducated state in the country, and it seems like the biggest hurdle that we're all going to have to figure out is the fact that society has invested heavily in distracting people with social media, with Netflix, with food. The food is terrible. And so people just don't have the energy or the mental clarity to even begin to care is what it seems like. And that's my biggest fear is everyone is so distracted with whatever that literally everyone's watching their city implode right before their eyes. So what do you think, what plans do you have to penetrate that cloud of fog to shake people and say, hey, we need your help. We need to do these things at these schools in different districts. We need to get people to vote. How do you think that we can do that, man?
Well, one thing is we are the most enabling state in the country. We enable these people. The amount of giveaways, and now I see this council are passing a bill to send money to people to help them get started. Every month they want to send them $500 to help subsidize them to see if they can get out of poverty by sending them more money. You get a free phone, you get a free pad, you get food at the Casa Pellegrinos, you get
They tell them how to
EBT,
vote too.
you get all of that. And you know what? We enable these people to do nothing. Now, what we need to do is, there's jobs, help wanted everywhere. We need to stop giving them everything and say, you know what? It's time to get out and start working. We need to get these people in, get them back, transition them back into the workforce. The reason we're poor is because of all the people that don't want to work.
I agree with that.
People don't want to work. There's jobs, and it pays pretty good. I mean, you make $480 a week. You know, that's almost $2,000 a month. You got a two-person household. You're looking at a pretty good amount of money there.
Yeah.
Well, Las Cruces is a pretty affordable city, so you're right.
Yes, it is. It's not nearly as hard to live here as you would think. Now, if we were to read the stats on this area, you'd think it's impossible to live here, but it really isn't.
No, it's a wonderful place to live. The culture, people like you, people like me and Alice, you know, outside of politics and stuff, we just love our community. We love our food. We love the weather.
We sure do. And you know what? It grieves us to see it destroyed. And I believe this election, there's going to be a turnaround. There's going to be a reset. The people are waking up.
I think so,
and I can see it turning around sooner than later. In fact, this election, I'm believing that there's going to be a good turnout, and I believe we're going to see good things on this coming election.
I think so, too. And, you know, come to think of it, you aren't the only Republican candidate. That I think Isabella Solis just announced.
Yes,
recently.
Isabella is coming in.
Right. So that's okay. You know, I've had experience with her in the past. I think just off the cuff, you have more experience that's tangible for the job. So I'm leaning towards you on that for sure. I'll say that out publicly. But aside from all that, there is another pool of Democrat candidates. What is your messaging right now when you're out there in the streets dealing with these progressives and these other Democrats who are trying to run against you? What is the core thing you're trying to get across to the people?
Take a look at our city. Are you better off right now than you were 4 years ago? Look at the direction you're going. Right. What have you done? What have we done to make it a better place to live?
There you go.
And the hate towards the police officers. I was at a forum with some of the council members, and they were saying all the things they were trying to do to beef up our police force. And I said, would you work for someone that couldn't stand you, that's always watching you and threatening you? And threatening to sue you if you do something wrong, threatening to fire. Who would want to work for that? There's no amount of money that someone would want to work.
A hostile environment.
For someplace like that. Then thank God they squashed that oversight committee. Ken did. But we need to change the culture of our leadership. We need to go from the top down. This is not a grassroots from the bottom up. It's from the top down. We need to change our leaders, change our attitudes. We need to get in there and change the attitude of our leaders to servants.
Yeah, and it's something that I think a lot of times people always take local politics for granted. Like, it's just city councilor. It's just the mayor. Someone will figure it out. And it's like we've gotten so lazy with it that we now have a fully progressive city council. Ken
exactly
leaning right before he got out, which I love him for that. I'll always love him for that. But as far as I'm concerned, we have probably one of the most progressive city councils in the entire country.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. And it shows because look where we rank in the country right now.
Right.
And we weren't like that. And right now, what they look at has nothing to do with what the problems are. You know, someone asked me the other day, they said, what are your thoughts on climate change? I said, I see it 4 times a year. And I see it. The climate changes 4 times. It's hot in the summer. It's cold in winter. We see it. But they're focusing on what the big agenda of the squad and of California instead of the people. They'd rather let everyone just go to heck. But as long as they pass those bills, get rid of the gas stoves. Plastic bags. They were so proud of those little plastic bags. Get rid of those.
I still don't buy them.
Out of control crime, out of control homelessness, vandalism, and then what is their solution to the crime? Well, lock your doors, hide everything under your seats, and don't get anything they can see. You know what? No. Let's clear these streets. Let's get a curfew for people under 18, like a lot of us grew up with.
Used to have that.
Let's ban people from sleeping just anywhere and send them to a facility where they can sleep, and let them sleep outside of that facility if they want, but not all over town. Still, shopping carts. Since when could you just openly steal something? We let them steal shopping carts. Then what do? They go in and start stealing items from the store. I was in a dollar store. This guy filled up the little carrier and walked out the front door, threw a finger at the clerk, and walked right out. And you know what the clerk said? I'm not telling him anything. Well, I don't blame him. Who wants to tell someone that crazy?
Yeah, that's out of hand.
And there's no repercussion either.
No, there is no. They even took away their license. Were suspended for not paying fines. Well, they even took that away. Give them their license back. How can they work if they don't have a license? Well, pay the fine and then you can.
They just keep rewarding the criminality.
Bad behavior is rewarded.
You know, I want to ask you also, and I'm glad you mentioned curfew, because at the coalition, we recently just had a police officer liaison come and speak with us. And he did a very good job. I'll say he did a really nice job explaining things. But I asked him, and he said, no, there is no longer a curfew. And I think you're absolutely right on that. But what I want to switch a little bit gears here, but not really too much, is what I have never done before, and I will do for the first time in November, is this ranked choice voting. And I am not a big fan, and it's very difficult to understand.
Yeah, it sucks.
You know, people don't get it. And I mean, I kind of did some research, and what I do understand is the city council themselves voted to have this happen, which it doesn't make sense to me that you should be able to say, okay, this is how you guys are going to vote for me. It seems like it should be decided by the people. So your thoughts, any good explanation of it, and how do you think you can beat it?
Well, you know, on ranked choice, there is one thing I like about it. You don't have all that mudslinging. That is probably the biggest plus. You know, I ran for a state rep position, lost by 210 votes at 1 o'clock in the morning, of course. But my goodness, I was scared to go to that mailbox. They destroy you. They destroy your family. They destroy everything about you, and the issues are secondary. So they spend all their time destroying the candidate. On ranked choice, they don't do that. So they don't have a choice but to stick with the issues. Now, the bad side of it is, if you got enough Democrats, you're getting a Democrat in, because on the ranked choice, you put first choice, second, third, fourth. Well, if you got 6 Democrats, you got 6 chances of winning it, because they'll put their person, those votes keep going up. You got a better chance of winning. So what you got to do is you've got to get out there with a platform that appeals to both parties equally, or else you're not going to win. It is so hard for a Republican. In this city, we have one Republican, and that was a school board member.
Yeah.
But ranked choice, and you know, one of the people from Juan, I love Juan. I love his group. I love the attention they're bringing to the problems in City Hall. Awesome. I love the billboards they put up. That's a great program there. One of his guys got up there and he said, I was looking up ranked choice so I could understand it. And your all's picture was on the website. Did you all get paid for that? That looks like a little bit of conflict right there. What's going on? And Kid says, well, could you send it to me? So what's right there? Wait a minute. Ken, you're not even on the picture. So they showed all their pictures on that website for ranked choice voting nationally. And it showed all those members right there. Well, when we got that many people in there that fit the same pattern, you can tell that there is something about it that slants that vote.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan, and I'm going to tell you right now, because anybody that I vote for on the city, because it's only the city council people and the mayor is ranked choice voting. Everything else is regular voting, right?
Mm-hmm.
School district and everything. But I really don't think that that's the way to go, because it appears to me, I know you said you do your first, second, third choice, but I would like the freedom, if the first person, the first round, nobody wins, have a runoff. and give me the choice, because I could change my mind. What if I
That's
said,
right.
you know what? I thought this guy was made my second choice, but no, you know what? I'm going to change it. It's so I'm telling you. So
It has worked for over 200 years. They changed something that had been in place and working. So the ranked choice, for now, that's not going anywhere until we get the right people in office and they can say, let's go back to voting the way we're supposed to. And let's, pass an amendment to do it.
It'll take a while.
We're the ones who put it in place.
Mike, we're getting down to our last 10 minutes here of the show. We really appreciate you coming on. We'll try to do this at the end as well, but go ahead and give us your website, phone number, email, whatever you'd like to tell people so they can reach you, maybe give you a few bucks, whatever.
Well, my phone number is 575-635-7522. My email is byfaith626@yahoo.com. And right now, we have not got that website out, but I'm on Facebook at Mike Tellez for Mayor on Facebook. So they can go there. They can contact me, email me, text me, whatever they need. If they have any questions, if they want me to go speak to someone, I'm always glad to do that. And I look for people to contact me. Let me know what their issues are, and I do not mind any question they have to ask. I've researched our city and the city government for 6 years now. I've come up with how to deal with the homelessness without getting sued by the ACLU. The panhandling, I've researched that from cities that have effectively outlawed that and how they did it. They called it traffic safety, which you could understand. That would make sense. What we need to do to ban people from sleeping on the streets, we have to have a place to send them. We've got the perfect model at the National Guard Armory. That model is in place. We know what we need to do. Homeless, we need to treat them, help assimilate them back into society. I've talked to the universities. They can go to trade school. All they need to do is want to. But this homeless problem right now, we are almost to the point of no return. Albuquerque is at the point of no return. I don't know if Albuquerque will ever be as beautiful as it was. We're heading that direction. 4 years ago, my whole campaign was focused on we cannot let ourselves slide to where Albuquerque is right now. Well, we are right now where Albuquerque was 4 years ago, so you know what direction we're going. The campaign donations, they're always welcome. But you know what? I am not beholden to any special groups. I don't want money that comes with a string attached. Well, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to work it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done however I need to get it done. I don't have the big money backing me like some of our candidates do. But you know what? I have passion, God on my side. I've got a mission and a dream for our city, and I believe that it can happen. I believe that our city can change.
Mike, do you have any events coming up where you'll be speaking or appearing?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be glad to send them to you. There's several events where I'll be 4 or 5 of them this week that I'll be speaking at, but I will send you a copy of the events coming up. But I will be speaking at Juan Garcia's group November 2nd. I'll be speaking there. Juan and I have talked a lot. I've gotten pretty close to him because you know what? I believe in what he's doing is what we all need to do. Get involved with our community. And, you know, the people running against me, they could say whatever they want, but I'll ask them, what have you been doing to better our community? What have you been doing? What do you have going on right now? I'll tell you what I have. I have a dream center where we offer programs free of charge. We don't charge people. When someone comes in with a vision to better our city and they need a place, they say, how much would you charge? I said, go in and do your thing, brother. If you're helping the people for free, I'm helping you for free. This paid off in full, so I can help people free.
I want to let you, the coalition, and Zeke and I are both members of the Coalition of Conservatives in Action. Juan Garcia is the chairman, and great guy,
great.
and we are truly in action. But you spoke about on the 28th of September. So yeah, that's candidates for mayor and city council.
At the Dream Center. And we'd like to invite people to it at the Dream Center, 1400 6th Street. And they'll get to hear the candidates that are running and see where they're at.
Excellent. That's great. And in full disclosure, there is another Republican candidate.
Yes. It's Isabel Solis. She's a good friend of mine.
We'll invite her too, in fairness, to come on the show.
Yeah, she's a good person. I like her, and I have no problem with Isabel. And she has a passion to make a difference also.
I'm just excited that we do have some Republican candidates.
Me too.
Because,
yes. And it's harder to do that because we know going in that we're going to get bombed because of our political affiliation, not our platform, but our political affiliation, which is so backwards.
It's stupid. It's like, these people who actually live and govern states and cities that are doing much better than yours. So hate them.
What's wrong with God, country, the Constitution? What is wrong with believing and loving what our country was founded on? Saluting our flag. Quit bashing our flag and our country and our Constitution and our religion.
Yeah.
And on that note, before we say goodbye, were you in the military at all, Mike?
No, ma'am. I had 3 brothers that were, though.
Okay. Well, please thank them for the service. But Zeke was in the Air Force, and today is the birthday of the Air Force.
Oh, cool.
So
all
I
right.
wish them a happy birthday.
I thank you, Zeke, for everything you do. I appreciate you, brother. You're a friend of mine.
Yeah, it's been an honor getting to know you too, man, befriending you as well. I love the fact, everything that you do, man, you got my support. Thank you for coming on the show. Everybody, you like this show. If you're trying to fix Las Cruces, share this post, like this post, let him know. Give Mike a shout out. He'll talk to you any day of the week. He'll shoot you straight, and that's something that I deeply appreciate because ain't nobody on city council does that. No, but not one of them shoots you straight. Okay?
No, they don't.
They might, in that they'll admit that they don't like you. But nothing beyond that.
They definitely do it to me.
Right?
I know I am not one of their favorites.
So Godspeed, sir.
Sun News' favorites either.
No.
Well, wear it as a badge of honor, I think.
Yeah, it's honor, man.
Yeah. And you know what?
Right,
I love all of them. And I pray to God that they bless all of them. But you know what? We're about the city and about getting our plywood doors and windows in that problem.
Turn plywood into glass again.
That's right. Why not?
Mike, thank you so much. It's been great.
Thank you all. God bless you, man. Thank you for this honor. It's been a privilege being on this program.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Be out there in political land.
Likewise, brother.
Take care.
So you can sign out. We're going to close up here, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll get this link to you later on so you can share it as far and wide as you can, sir. Thank you.
You got it, brother. God bless you. Thank you.
God bless you too, sir. Thank you so much.
That was Mike Tellez. He is running for mayor here in the city of Las Cruces.
Yes, he sure is.
And he's going to sign off, but we just have a few more minutes. We just wanted to
wrap some stuff up.
Do a few things, yeah. And we always give a shout out to the Coalition of Conservatives in Action and our friend Juan Garcia, but he spoke a lot about it, so we don't even have to do that. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else are we missing? Oh, it is Hispanic Heritage Month, so it's probably pretty appropriate that we're rebooting the show, as Latinos for the Chips and Salsa Show, New Mexico.
That's right.
What have we left out, Zeke? I have my little notes here.
I mean, nationally, I know Trump's getting more support than he's pretty good. It's almost like we're voting for him in November. He's won the culture war. There was a 300-car motorcade for him in New York yesterday. 300 cars, and we still have over a year before we vote. The black folks are all about him already too. He already dominated the black vote. He's got the Hispanic vote. More of us are flipping Republican more than ever before. I mean, plus all the people that already voted for him when he won in 2016, plus all the support he garnered from 2020. I mean, it's just crazy how they're attacking him, and people are just loving it. It's making him support him more.
Yeah, the more it happens, the more support he gets. And we were talking also before the show is the interview that he just did.
I didn't see it.
Man, I'm going to send you the link. I just got to hear. I was listening to it, and what's amazing about this man, okay, he's 77, 78.
He's getting up there.
Right? Okay. But his mind is so sharp. The interviewer kept trying to interrupt him. He was trying to make a point, and he's so good about this. I need to learn the technique where he just kind of he keeps on talking, but he does it in a way that he's saying, and people know this, the audience knows this, you're not really listening to me, you're not letting me answer the question. And he's got his information, it's right on. So if you get a chance, I highly recommend it. I'll try to get it posted up there on the Facebook site if I have it. It's probably up there already, but it's really worth watching. And it's so impressive. You know, and then you compare our President Trump, former President Trump, against what's in the office right now. Man, there's just like no comparison.
It's not good. Someone like that in leadership position just spells disaster. That's all it is. It's just we're being led into the rocks on purpose, and it's very sad. Trump's a genetic freak. I'll say this really quick. You know, he's obviously super high IQ. He's a multi-billionaire. He has really good genetics, and it's like Martin Luther King. You judge people off of the contents of their character, off of the individual person, who they are and what they do, not their age, not the color of their skin. Benjamin Franklin was 81 years old when he drafted the Declaration of, I always say this, but it's an important point. He was 81 years old when he drafted the Declaration of Independence. Benjamin Franklin, one of our founding fathers. That's old from the 1700s, and the Age of Enlightenment. That's old as dirt back then. Right. The average life expectancy back then was probably like 36. Everybody was dying of freaking the Black Plague and shit. But, you know, so that being said, look at Biden and where he's at psychologically, and look at Trump. Age isn't everything. You really got to look at the individual and the person. So I don't hold Trump's age against him at all. I think he's sharp as a tack. He's the right man for the job. That's it.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And then I do want to spend like 1 minute about New Mexico. Do you know what the latest is on this gun ban thing? Because the governor is back.
I know she pulled back.
You know, because she nobody was supporting
the Democrat sheriff wouldn't support her. The Democrat attorney general wouldn't support her. The Democrat legislator wouldn't support her. So what has she got? She got nowhere to go.
I love it. I love it. I feel like, as I said the last show, a testing ground, and I think it failed. And I want to give kudos.
They're not even close.
And applause to the state, to my state of New Mexico, reconvincing me this is the land of enchantment. And you guys did the right thing, because do not mess with our God-given rights. Do not.
I'm glad I woke people up, because they didn't even get close. It galvanized a ton of people. And I'm like, for me, you know, we've been in this battle for years. I've been in this battle for years. I'm like, okay, look, everybody, let's look at the border. Let's look at the replacement migration. Let's look at the homelessness now. You know, that's something. If we all just got focused and cared about it, and the way that she attacked the Second Amendment, and we started to focus on it with the homelessness and the crime and the destruction of our education system, we can make change. That's the luxury of living in a state with such a small population. An even smaller population can make big, big change. So God bless everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always fun being here, hanging out with Alice at Chips and Salsa. Everybody that support us, much love. Big love to you guys. You know, we'll be coming back with more shows. We honestly, guys, the most exciting thing, I'll say this, is we've got a ton of badass guests lined up to come on the show, guys.
Yes.
I mean, we're going to have an endless amount of amazing, cool guests coming on. As we get ready for the studio to get built, we're going to make it more and more exciting. We're going to have some swag to sell. We're going to have a website. So, hey, for now, we're just honored to be out here, share this information so people can get some change. Go vote for Mike Tellez. Get involved, right?
Get involved. Absolutely. So have a wonderful one. I think this is Constitutional Week too. So keep that in mind, because, you know, your rights are important, very important. Thanks again. We'll see you. So what we're planning to do is we'll be recording the show. So we can't tell you exactly what time it'll be available, but kind of look for us maybe in the evening, Monday evening, at the latest Tuesday morning, because our executive producer needs time to get it uploaded and edited and whatever he needs to do. So again, a shout out to Eric Williamson. I'm Alice Lara, and you are
Zeke Rodriquez.
We will see you next week here on the Chips and Salsa Show, Nuevo Mexico, New Mexico.
New Mexico. Thank you guys so much. Peace out.